And we are back here in Annapolis, Maryland. Thank you to Cameron Irvine for getting us switched over here to Twitch. And that is going to be a punt, and looks like that's going to be a very good punt. And, oh, it just rolls in, Mickey. Just rolled in.
I thought they were going to pin that inside the 5-yard line, but it just touched that goal line for a touchback, and it's coming out to the 20-yard line. Annapolis got very lucky on that one.
And just wanted to show the score up above there. Ottawa up 26-0 at home against Lexington. So Lexington looking like they're having a tough time going up north here tonight. 1st and 10 from the 20 for the Navigators. And that's a handoff to Chris Grant Jr. And he looked like he had some room on the outside, but that was taken out quickly. TJ Harper, the flex squad, coming in with the big tackle.
TJ Harper was just sitting back watching Grant, just like I mentioned before. Grant Jr. has been pretty much the offense for the Navigators, and they were noticing that, so he was just hawking him the entire play.
It's really been the running back show tonight here in this ball game. Struthers dropping back. Speaking of the running back, there's Chris Grant Jr. again with a spin move, and that's another big hit. Daipan, the Week 4 signing, has hit 2 times big hits on Chris Grant Jr. with a gain of, it's going to be 3rd and 8.
Guy Pan, he has not at any point wrapped up and tackled the guy. These have all been shoulder shots that have been knocking Chris Grant Jr. back.
I feel like he's playing in the movie The Program. I don't know if you've ever seen The Program, but one of them hard-hitting corners. And that's going to be a gun straight 90-all slant pass to Harleman, and that's going to be 1st and 10 at the 32 for the Navigators.
Well, it's good to see the Navigators go in the air as well. Yes, it has been a running back show tonight, but if they want to start moving that ball, sometimes it's good to air it out.
And that's going to be 1st and 10 here. Gun split, twin set here for the Navigators. Brothers looking to the left side, and that is caught, and that's going to be a 1st down and more. Goldie Morrison, I believe, with his first catch of the night.
We haven't mentioned Mr. Morrison's name at all tonight, but he's coming up clutch right now, right before the 2-minute warning.
Indeed he is, and then he just gets it just across almost to the 45. And Morrison with the heads up there to turn around and try to extend the play. TJ Harper there and Ham Anderson on the hit to tackle him down. So 10-7 here. 2 minutes to go in the first half. We're going to take a look at Chris Grant Jr. here. Looks like he's going to be lining up to the outside. It's going to be empty set for the Navigators. Low snap. Struthers over the middle, and that is going to be Chris Grant Jr. He's going to get to midfield, and that's going to be 2nd and 5.
It looked like Chris Grant Jr. was actually lined up as a tight end for that play. You don't see that often, having your number 1 back lining up as a tight end, but it worked for that play.
Chris Grant Jr., 6'1", 222, so he's got a little bit of the size to maybe pull that off. Gun quad set here. Struthers firing over the middle, and that was trying to be a one-hand catch, but incomplete. Intended for Curtis Walker, and that's going to be 3rd and 5.
Yeah. Minute 28 left on the clock. Got to try to get that ball downfield as best as you can. They're only down by 3. But if Annapolis really wants to stay in this game, they want to get the lead going into halftime.
There's a zoom in there on defensive end. Anthony Robertson, 6'4", 272, trying to get into the backfield and get a hit on Struthers. 3rd and 5. Quad formation set again. Over the middle. The pass is caught, and that is going to be 1st down. And that looks like it was Marty Alonso there, the 5'10", 178-pound wide receiver.
Marty Alonso on a quick little slant pattern. All they needed was 5, and they got it. Plus, looks like a little bit more to keep this drive going.
Single back set here. Looking to the outside, he finds Chris Grant Jr., and he's going to be tackled immediately. And it looks like they're going to be going no huddle here with less than a minute to go. 2nd and 10 from the 40. Small drop, and that's going to be a pass over to Goldie Morrison. And Morrison looked like he was going to try to spin in bounds. He actually gets out of bounds by the tackle, and that's going to be 3rd and 3.
Best thing that could have happened on that play was him get tackled out of bounds. You're right, he did spin inbounds, which wouldn't have been the best thing to do with 47 seconds left in the half. But getting out of bounds, they at least take a break, go huddle up, and figure out their next play.
It looks like they're going to go back to that bunch formation set. Bunch formation on the bottom. 3rd and 3 from the 33. Struthers short drop. He gets over the middle, and that is caught by Shanahan. And that is going to be first down there on the 20 at the 27, and they're going back to no huddle once again. 1st and 10. Struthers looking deep down the sideline. That is a diving catch. And Annapolis calling a timeout. The tight end, Joel Harleman. Hashtag throw it to the tight end.
Now, I've seen a lot of comic book movies in my day, but if that was not a Superman move, I don't know what it was. Harleman just turned around and extended as far as he could to get that ball inside the 5-yard line to give him a chance to put 6 on the board before the half.
Oh, Harleman, the two-way player from Jacksonville, showing off the athleticism there with the big diving play, and Annapolis 1st and goal on the 3. Split back jack set. Looking in the back of the end zone. That is tipped and incomplete. And that was number 20, Luke Swift, the two-way player from the Las Vegas Fury.
It looked like Ronnie Shanahan might have had a second chance on that ball, but he just couldn't get his feet back on the ground to be able to try and reach for it.
Kind of an odd play call there by the Navigators, considering the fact that, you know, they've been just really doing a lot of swing passes to Chris Grant Jr. Figured they might have just went that route. Let's see what they do here. 2nd and goal. 27 seconds left in the first half. Annapolis looking to take the lead here. Weak eye set. And looks like they're going to get a free play out of this. And that's going to be outside the Lars Bazaar with a spin move, and that's a touchdown. Look at the fullback doing work with a beautiful spin move.
Lars Bazaar, we haven't mentioned his name. Here's R62 with that encroachment call on the defense. But we haven't called his name at all, but he comes up clutch right when they needed him before the half.
And what a play to the fullback. Look at this play again here. Lars Bazaar showing the week 4 signing guy pan, like, you're not going to hit me like you've been hitting Chris Grant Jr. I'm going to spin away from you. And the Navigators getting some momentum here at home with the extra point, could be up by 4 points going into the half.
And Lars Bazaar, 6'1", 247. Looks like he's got some moves there for a big boy.
Indeed he does. The extra point is up and good. And Annapolis, who was looking a little weak there in the first quarter, really coming on strong here in the second and taking the lead here for the first time tonight. And if you're Lincoln here, you're probably, I assume, going to try to just run out the clock, then go into the half there and try to get some motivation after that.
Well, Annapolis does get the ball back in to start the second half, so maybe they'll just try a Hail Mary or something, try to get the ball into the end zone to get, or at least get some points on the board before the half.
And getting it across the 30, Walker was trying to make something happen here, but gets down to the 33, and we'll see what Lincoln tries to do here. Are they going to try to do some quick moves? They got 2 timeouts left. They could try to go down the field and maybe get it to field goal position to get some points. See what they do, or they may just run it out. 1st and 10 from the 33, tight end flex. And that's going to be a handoff to Logan Lee, and he's going to get just to the line of scrimmage, and they're going to go no huddle here. 2nd and 10, another handoff to Logan Lee. That's up the middle, and he's going to break one tackle, but not break another one. And Lincoln calling a timeout. Some odd clock management here. The head coach, Mike All. And there's a look at Mike All right there.
Not quite sure what Lincoln is thinking here. You could just let the 3 seconds go off the clock, go in with a 4-point deficit, and just try to come back and, use your game plan that's been working all game with Logan Lee. But it looks like they might try to do something a little tricky here.
Twins sat out of the far formation. Drops back. Tries to fire in the middle, and that is going to be incomplete, almost intercepted. Jupiter Juno was there. Hit it a few times, and that is going to do it here for the first half. Some odd clock management there by the Rattlesnakes. So we're going to go into halftime here. Annapolis at home, up one score with the score of 14-10. Mickey, if you're Lincoln, what do you have to do differently to get not only get the lead, but to also to win this ballgame?
I don't think there's much they have to do. I think the only thing they have to do is mix it up, a little on the ground, a little in the air. As we were mentioning before, Kenny Slider hasn't done much in the air. I think he still had under 30 yards passing. So I think they need to throw the ball a little bit more.
And it looks like Annapolis is going to return it out to the 31. Annapolis has an opportunity here to really open this game up with a score. They moved the ball really well on that last drive. Now they got to come out here and do it once again. And I got to tell you, I mean, they've been looking pretty good for a team that's 0-4 right now. A team that has struggled offensively. They're 8th in points per game. They average 7.7 points a game. That's 8th. That's dead last here in the SFLm. Right now, they're playing a really good game here at home.
Yeah, absolutely. They are looking strong. Let's see if they can keep that momentum up this drive.
Look at Chris Grant Jr. out to the outside, and a big hit there by Ham Anderson, and that's going to be 1st and 10 on the 46.
Ham Anderson, a two-way play out of someplace you're familiar with, just came up. Another big shot by the safeties here in the secondary by Lincoln.
Ham Anderson just lowering the shoulder, rambling his way through.
Had to toss that one in, huh?
Had to toss that out there. It was right there, Mickey. I had to do it. So, 1st and 10 on the 46. Single back formation. Bunch set here. Struthers. This is check down to Chris Grant Jr., and that was not really a good play at all. That was a loss of 2. A gang of guys there on the tackle for Lincoln.
Yeah, that wasn't a good read there whatsoever. If Struthers just looked up, he would have saw that there were 3 guys all around him and shouldn't have thrown the ball that way.
And straight here for the Navigators. And it looks like the lovely 50XA post deep down the middle, and that's a big catch there by Ronnie Shanahan across the 20 into the red zone, and that's going to be 1st and 10 for the Navigators. Big play there by Ronnie Shanahan.
Ronnie Shanahan on that post route over the middle of the field looked like Lincoln actually had really good coverage, but Struthers just put it in right where Ronnie was running, and he was able to catch the ball and get the huge gain for them. Great play for Annapolis here to start this second half.
6'6", 225 Gene Struthers, and that rocket arm just lasering it over there to Ronnie Shanahan. Big play there to get them into the red zone. That's exactly what you wanted to do if you're Annapolis. 1st and 10 from the 18. Hands it off to Chris Grant Jr. He's going to go up the middle. He's going to break a tackle, and that's going to be about a gain of 6. And that's going to be on to 12. Chris Grant Jr., a team that doesn't average much on running. They average 77 yards per game. Right now is averaging just over 9 yards a carry.
This is definitely the running back show between Grant Jr. and Logan Lee. It's hard to figure out who's going to come out on top here.
And there's another handoff to Grant Jr. He's got the outside, and that is going to be down to the 4. Gets a first down, and it's going to be 1st and goal.
And again, this is what Annapolis needed. As much as Lincoln started the first half strong, looks like Annapolis is doing exactly the reverse. Coming out, starting strong, securing the ball, because that was their downfall in the first half. They just had those 2 fumble turnovers. And now they're just driving down the field and just impinging on that end zone.
And it's going to be 1st and goal from the 4. Strong-eye Joker set. Probably another outside run here for Chris Grant Jr. Indeed it is. He's going to get to the outside, but that is not going to happen. That's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. Gaipan with the stop.
As I said before, it's been a big running game on both sides right now for both teams. They got to try and switch it up. We saw that big play by Ronnie Shanahan before that got it down the field. Might be something to think about. Doesn't look like a passing play here, but Annapolis has to think about the air.
Be a screenplay, but it's not going to be. It's going to be an outside run, and that's going to be stopped right there once again. And this Lincoln red zone defense is coming strong here. Big hit there by Jonte Jordan.
And it pushed the Navigators back 2 yards. So now it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 6. I think Annapolis really does need to look for either that swing pass or something in the air.
It looks like it's going to be a gun straight formation here. Look for 90 all slants to be the play. And it's not going to be 90 all slants, but it is going to be a shot in the back of the end zone. That is caught by Ronnie Shanahan. Touchdown in Annapolis.
Ronnie Shanahan with that corner route just found that pylon, kept his feet in bounds to put 6 on the board for Annapolis to extend their lead. Extend it by 10 for now, possibly 11 pending the extra point.
Look at this throw here by Struthers into what looks like double coverage. He just finds the perfect spot. Shanahan getting the stickum on him, them gloves, making the catch, and look at Annapolis now. A team that averages 7 points a game is getting ready to go up 21-10, pending the extra point. And that is going to be, there's a snap, there's the kick, it's up, and it is good. Annapolis 21, Lincoln 10. The SFL Network is coming to the ESTV Plus app. 24/7 SFL programming will include content created by the community, the SFL's greatest games from the archives, exclusive network content, and live SFL regular season games. Just announced this week, ESTV is now live on Prime Video and on the Freevee app. Download the ESTV Plus app on your Android, iPhone, or through your smart TV before Season 20 today. I actually downloaded ESTV Plus a couple weeks ago, so pretty excited on my Fire TV, ready to watch some SFL action, see a bunch of reruns of Say It With Your Chest with Eddie Gage.
Well, I'm happy it's on Prime Video too, because I have that. I'll be able to watch some of the games too without having to download another app onto my Fire TV.
No, I've already got too many apps on there as it is, but what's one more? No, I got a little SD card in there that stores it, so we're good. 1st and 10 from the 36. And that's going to be that toss play out to Logan Lee to the outside, and he's going to get a gain of about a couple.
Logan Lee averaging, as you saw on the screen, 6.5 yards a carry. I mean, that is fantastic. He has a longest rush of 40 yards. Again, this defense is going to key in on that and just start watching Lee, so they might have to change up their game plan a little bit for the second half to take the lead.
Let's see what happens here. Jay Hayden, I'm assuming, is probably calling defense for Annapolis, and that's going to be a few yards on that. It's going to be 3rd and 4 here for the Rattlesnakes.
Caleb Walker, the return specialist out there, and as their wide receiver, looks like he's his main receiver for tonight as well, doing his work. 3rd and manageable here. Let's see what Lincoln will do.
And that's a short drop there by Slider, and that's going to be to the outside of Lee, and he is just stopped just short of the first down. Geno McFly, the first down saving tackle, and it's going to be 4th and 1.
And it does look like they're figuring out the Logan Lee show today, because he hasn't done much on this drive.
Jay Hayden, the head coach of the Annapolis Navigators, former defensive coordinator, I believe, before learning under the great Eddie Gage, the SFL runner-up Arizona Scorpions this past season. And that is going to be a punt there by Lincoln. And that is going to be hit just as soon as he catches it. And that's going to be down to the 22. And that's going to be 1st and 10 for the Navigators. Let's see what they could do here to try to extend this lead even further, Mickey.
Annapolis does have momentum on their side, so let's see if they can keep that momentum or if they're going to give it back like Lincoln did in the first half.
Annapolis seems to be taking a few more shots down the field, so that's been helping them get those quick chunk plays to get into the red zone quicker. 1st and 10 for the Navigators outside the Chris Grant Jr., and he is hit, but will break the tackle and gain a couple yards on that, and it's going to be 2nd and 8.
Looked like it was going backwards for a second, but Chris Grant Jr. did a great job to break that first tackle and at least pick up 2 on that play.
I mean, that graphic right there was the story, right? Gene Struthers, 206 passing yards. Kenny Slider, under 50 yards passing today. Really, like we said, it's been the Logan Lee show, but I think now down 21-10, that offense, when it comes back, is going to have to think about down the field passing.
Absolutely.
2nd and 8 here. Struthers changing the play in the weak eye tight end flex. Looking to the outside, Ronnie Shanahan with the catch, and that's a spin move. He's got some daylight. TJ Harper right there to get him just past midfield, and that's going to be down to the 44. Big play once again for Ronnie Shanahan.
Like Ronnie Shanahan's not letting that fumble in the beginning of the game worry him too much. He's come up big for Annapolis as of late. He had that big touchdown catch, he had that big catch down the field, and now that spin move was just out of this world to pick up the extra yardage.
I actually just found out that Drew Reilly runs the defense in Annapolis. Was not aware of that, so thank you to Jay Hayden for letting me know. First and 10 from the 44. And that's going to be a handoff to Chris Grant Jr., and that's going to be inside, and he's going to get a gain of about 5, and that's going to be 2nd and 5.
And Annapolis' offensive line is definitely doing their job, giving Struthers a chance to drop back and throw the ball, and also creating holes for Grant Jr. to be able to run through to pick up the yards that he needs.
Ronnie Shanahan having himself a day. 2nd and 5 here for the Navigators. It's going to be a handoff to Chris Grant Jr. The outside is sealed and breaks a tackle. And that is going to be just about a gain of 3. It looked like TJ Harper had him, but the flex squad wasn't strong enough to bring down Chris Grant Jr.
Now, Chris Grant Jr., a very strong runner here. They do need to get a few more yards to get in field goal range, so it'll be very interesting to see what the Navigators do here.
Single back, looks like double set here. Struthers looking to the outside. That is caught. And look at Lars Bazaar cutting back in, trying to go up the field. And he gets the first down anyway. But I got to tell you, I'm impressed with the athleticism of this fullback, Lars Bazaar.
Definitely. Especially, we saw that move that he made to get the touchdown earlier. And now just instead of going out of bounds like most running backs would do on an out route, he tried to come back in. He was able to get a few more yards there to put them closer to field goal position at a minimum.
I've had some great wide receivers as teammates. Ivory Irvin in Baltimore, Van Callia in London. I got to tell you, I mean, I've seen them not make that move a lot of times. So kudos to Lars Bazaar. And that's going to be a few yards there for Chris Grant Jr., 2nd and 6.
It does look like Annapolis still keeping the momentum on their side, still driving down the field. 4 yards each play will get a first down every time.
And there was a zoom-in shot of Ronnie Shanahan Jr. Is the cameraman here going to predict the future? And it looks like they're going to go to the other side of the field. Goldie Morrison with the catch, and that's a touchdown. And Annapolis strikes again, and it's going to be 28 pending the extra point.
It looks like Struthers just underthrew him just a little bit. Goldie had to turn around to catch that ball, but he was able to keep his momentum going towards the end zone and get the 6 points.
Looked like Struthers really was looking to the other side of the field and freezing Guypan right there, the week 4 signing, just enough where when Morrison made his cut that he was able to get that separation and be able to convert that into a touchdown. Big play there by Annapolis. Pending this extra point, they're going to be up by 18 here, Mickey.
Considering how this game started, it's very shocking to see that, but Annapolis has done a good job to come back.
And the kick is good, and I got to tell you, for a team that's 0-4 and only averaging 7 points a game, this offense has been looking pretty good here in the second half. Lincoln is really needing to answer here on this drive.
Lincoln's defense has got to step up. They just gave up 21 unanswered points from the end of the first half till now. So they've got to do something to change their game plan on defense if they want to still stay in striking distance.
In Annapolis, 28 points. If you take their average, that's 4 games worth of touchdowns for Annapolis. So coming out to the 31, and this is where Lincoln is really going to have to step up here on the offensively. They're going to have to get that vertical passing game going here, Mickey.
Absolutely. Logan's been great for them all game long, but they've got to put 18 points. They've got to get 3 touchdowns on the board. They've got to start looking to the air.
First and 10 from the 31, bunch formation. Drops back. Finds his receiver, but that is going to be broken up there. And that was number 28, Eamon Eaglin, I believe is how you say it, with the breakup.
Yeah, he just jumped the route there on the receiver, and he was just couldn't keep a hold of the ball. If he was able to catch that ball, that was a pick six for sure.
And Fox High went into chat asking if I'm calling it Indianapolis. No, I'm probably saying a little bit quick, but it's Annapolis. I do know where I'm at here tonight. Strong eye formation set and a fake draw play, fake run up the middle and a toss out to Logan Lee. That's a play you don't see every day. It gets a gain of 3.
Definitely don't see that play. I think that's the first time I've seen that play on any broadcast that I've done or watched at all. But that was a great play by Lincoln to try to pick up some extra yards.
I mean, give kudos to Lincoln there on the play that you don't see every day. And that is going to be, wow, this thing is bobbling around here and it's going to be incomplete. Trying to hit his check down, but it looked like it bounced off the lineman and hit everybody else and finally hits the turf.
His check down receiver missed it. It bounced off the back of a defender, hit off 2 other defenders, and then it found the ground. Lincoln was very lucky there.
I think everybody tipped that ball, including the hot dog guy that's in the stands. 4th and 7, and that's going to be a punt once again for Lincoln. The offense just not answering anything today. Annapolis has been in cruise control here. Like you said, 21 unanswered points here in this ball game so far. And that is going to be fielded by Annapolis, and that is going to be down at the 32, which will bring out Gene Struthers in the gang once again. And visit the SFL website, guys, at simulationfl.net for info about the league and its 28 teams, all the places you can watch live, plus links to apparel from Sector 6 and SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotions. See all the league records, team stats, player leaderboards, the rankings of the next class of SFL talent, and so much more. SimulationFL.net, your home for everything SFL. And that is a handoff to Grant Jr. He's going to be tackled in the backfield. And that was Jason Clay there, the Week 3 signing, one of the first guys to get to him.
It was Jason Clay and Fred Carson there with that big 3-yard loss tackle on Grant Jr.
Struthers, 273 yards, 3 touchdowns tonight, has looked very good in this ball game. Single back, 3 wide receiver set here. Struthers, short drop. He's going to fire it to Chris Grant Jr. He's going to get a pretty good chunk there, looking like 8 yards, and it's going to be 3rd and manageable, 3rd and 5.
I think Struthers made a great call there to throw it to Grant Jr. The 3 receivers on the top, Lincoln was playing bump and run, and he saw that Grant Jr. had an open field in front of him, nobody covering the right side of the field, so it was a great call to throw it down to Grant Jr.
Easy decision there when Lincoln's giving up half the field to you on the other side. Just a smooth check down. You'll be able to get 8 yards and get yourself in a really good situation here on 3rd down. 5-form twin set here on 35 from the 37. Hands it off to Grant Jr. It looks like he's going to be stopped in the backfield. Lincoln's defense coming up big here to hold him to 4th down.
And once again, that was Jason Clay, and it was TJ Harper on that stop. Big 3rd down stop for that defensive line. Lincoln's defensive line looked very strong on those 3 downs.
Lincoln's defense telling the offense, like, hey, we got you the ball back now. Go do something. And Annapolis got the punt away for the first time in a while. Good hang time there. And that is going to be down to the 30. And Kenny Slider is going to bring his offense out. They're going to have to, as we said before, get this vertical passing game going. It has not been looking very well today here for Lincoln.
No, it hasn't been looking well at all, and you're absolutely right there, Chad. They got to get the passing game going. Logan Lee, he's been their main focus, and now that's the main focus on the Navigators' defense.
He's set here for the Rattlesnakes. Slider drops back, hits his man on the outside, breaks a tackle, and gets out of bounds. That's a gain of 5 for Brian Murphy.
Yeah. Brian Murphy, just great out route. We haven't said his name much tonight, but it's good to see that the Rattlesnakes and Slider is looking to the air right now, staying away from the ground game that hasn't done much in the second half. And we're coming down to the end of the 3rd quarter right now.
4 wide receiver set. Running back to his left. Slider over the middle. That is going to be just short. It's going to be 3rd and 2 here for the Rattlesnakes. Congrats to Kenny Slider for getting over 50 yards. Finally passing tonight. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Annapolis cruising right now. 28-10. Get your 4s, your 12s, your 86s, and 68s in chat. And we are live in Annapolis. Chad Rowland, your play-by-play comment, and alongside me is Mickey Malello, Cameron Irvine doing the production tonight. Thank you once again, Cam. And it's going to be 3rd and 2 here for Lincoln. Slider looking deep down the middle, and that's going to be tipped away, incomplete, as Will Stern, the two-way player from Vancouver, with the pass deflection.
That was a great look by Slider. I cannot fault him for that. It was the Annapolis defenders that were just all over. They were playing that great zone defense and saw the ball coming up. And Mr. Harshorn there, and I believe it's his birthday, so happy birthday, was able to get his hands up to knock that ball away.
Oh, there you go. Well, happy birthday to you. And that's going to be punted away by Lincoln. Annapolis here in the fourth quarter really just probably wanting to try to drain as much clock as they can in this almost 3-score lead. And here comes Gene Struthers.
Don't be surprised if they keep the ball on the ground a little bit to try to run this clock down. Yes, they're up by 18 points, but anything could happen in any game, especially in the SFLm.
1st and 10 from the 30. Gun straight formation here for the Navigators. 90 all slants. Finds his man on the outside. That's Goldie Morrison for a gain of 8.
And as I said, Annapolis decided to say, no, Mickey, you're wrong. We're going to go to the air.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the call, actually. 1st and 10, you want to try to get something jump going here. And doing a 90 all slants will do that for sure. It's one of those surefire plays that all coaches in the SFL know. 2nd and 2 from the 38. Strong eye set. It's going to be handed off to Grant Jr. He's going to run to the weak side, and that is going to be tackled in the backfield. Jason Clay, the week 3 signing again on a big stop.
Yeah, it does look like that Lincoln defensive line is still strong, like they were the last drive. They're still getting in that backfield. They're not giving Chris Grant Jr. much room to run.
35 here for the Navigators, looking deep down the sideline. He is all alone. Ronnie Shanahan gone. Touchdown, a big touchdown there, the 2nd of the night for Shanahan. And Annapolis right now is just rolling.
Ronnie Shanahan split out wide on that fly pattern. Struthers caught him in stride. He didn't slow down one step, getting by the defender right there. He saw it. Ronnie caught the ball and just covered it up. He didn't want to fumble it again like he did in the first quarter to get another 6 on the board for Annapolis.
Poor Fugu Gaipan had 2 big hits in this ball game. We were praising him, and he just got toasted. He looked like a burnt piece of toast on that play.
It looked like Tyreek Hill out there, let me tell you.
Annapolis looking to make this lead even more here, pending the extra point. It is up, and it is good. 35 points tonight from Annapolis, a team, as I keep saying over and over again, averaging 7.7 points a game.
Well, I do have to mention, last year, the Albuquerque Adams started off 0-3 and wound up running the rest of the table to win the championship. This might be the start of an Annapolis turnaround for their season.
That's a very good point, Mickey. I like where your head is here. And Annapolis going to kick it away. 9:45 left in the fourth quarter. And Lincoln's going to get this down to the 29. And APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection. State-of-the-art technology and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your project, visit apmmusic.com. And Lincoln coming out here hoping to try to find some sort of motivation. Slider trying his own way. Look at this. Once again, a big diving catch. And that was John Fullerton with the big dive.
Once again, we're seeing Superman on both sides of the field there. John Fullerton just extending as far as he could to catch that ball. Slider put it in the place that only Fullerton could have caught that ball.
Looking to see if, like, on the sidelines on each side, if, like, Art Vandelay is out running around here somewhere. Art Vandelay, famous for his big diving catch in the SFLm. I think that's really all he may have done. I love you, Art. I'm just joking. That's to the outside run there by Logan Lee. He's going to break something, and that's going to be breaking a tackle just past the 20. Oh, nope, they're going to call him out at the 21. Big run there by Logan Lee.
Looks like Logan Lee's getting his stride back. Definitely the person you want to give the ball to, as we see the referee's leg on the screen. He was able to, it's just like the plays in the first half, those off-tackle, outside running plays. He's able to find the hole and just hit the lane and go upfield.
Good run there by Lincoln. They needed something to get on this side of the field, get into the red zone, and show the offense that they can move the ball down the field. First and 10 here from the 21. Slider looking over the middle. That is caught. Touchdown, John Fullerton. And Lincoln says, hey, we can score.
John Fullerton, who had that outstanding extension catch before, comes up big with the post route over the middle of the field. Kenny Slider saw him right there, wide open, and he knew he was going to get 6 points on that throw.
And he just found the soft spot of that defense, slanted right over to it. Beautiful throw there by Kenny Slider. And Lincoln having some sign of life. And they're pending an extra point. We'll cut this lead a little bit. And they're going to have to, I mean, I don't know if they're going to try to do an onside kick upcoming here or not, Mickey. I don't know if they're at that time yet or not.
I think it might be a little bit too early for the onside kick, as Annapolis got into the backfield and almost blocked that extra point. But they've got to do something. Their defensive line has got to stay strong. In the entire second half, they've been getting in the backfield of the Navigators. They've been stopping that running play. What they got to do is stop the pass, be able to defend the ball, get a 3-and-out here so that at least they can get within striking distance to possibly win this game.
Probably the smart decision here by Lincoln to kick it deep. And Annapolis will field it. And it's going to be taken just past the 30. And that is going to be down at the 33. If you're in Annapolis, you're just looking to drain this clock out. You don't want to see Lincoln's offense back on the field after just scoring on that impressive drive.
No, not in the least. Like I said it before, they should try to keep it on the ground, but the way that Lincoln's defensive line has been going, the ground game may not be the best. Maybe short passing routes over the middle of the field so the receivers can be tackled inbounds to keep the clock rolling.
And just like the last drive they did, they come out here and gun straight. And all slants over to Joel Harleman. That is going to be a gain of 8. And that's going to get to the 40.
And a gain of 8 on first down, especially with the way that the last 2 drives were going for Annapolis, is great. They now have second and short to start this drive. They can just muster up a few first downs. They're just going to run down that clock and make it harder and harder for Lincoln to be able to come back.
Swole in the chat asking if that is Chad and Mickey in the booth. It is indeed a Rambler and a Sasquatch in the booth together. Never thought I'd see the day. Chris Grant Jr. getting the first down and more to midfield. And Annapolis continuing to run that clock.
I would prefer to be called a legend there, Chad, but still, Chris Grant Jr. on that play. Great catch and run to get the ball, to get the first down. And he was tackled in bounds to keep the clock rolling.
I mean, I could call you a furball like I usually do with the rest of this legend. So, I mean, it could be worse.
That's absolutely true.
No, I mean, the furballs are excellent, BJ. They're the furballs, but... Weak Eye Twin set here. Chris Grant Jr. to the outside. He's going to be hit at the line of scrimmage. And that's a big hit there by number 56, Dimitri Monzuma, the week 2 signing.
Yeah, Monzuma came in. He was watching Grant Jr., and that's what those linebackers got to do. Their main responsibility is to watch the running backs coming out from the backfield, and he did his job to perfection right there.
Strong Eye Pro set for the Navigators. Going to just continue to run this clock. Chris Grant Jr. and he's going to be hit in the backfield. And that is number 20. Jason Clay was there as well, but Luke Swift, the two-way player from Vegas, getting the first hit.
Mason Clay's been getting in the backfield this entire half. That's why I said the running game may not be the best option for the Navigators right now. Yes, they want to run out the clock, but the way that this defensive line is getting in that backfield, they've got to look at these short passing routes, short slants, keep it inbounds to keep the clock rolling.
Now you're in a 4 wide receiver set here, 3rd and 13. Looking at that out route, Ronnie Shanahan with the catch, but looks like he stepped out of bounds, and that's going to be 4th and 6, and Annapolis is going to punt it away.
And way too far for any minor league kicker to try for any field goal here. Ronnie's been key for this Navigators offense. 2 long touchdowns on his resume for this game. Annapolis now has to give the ball back over to Lincoln. If Lincoln can keep up their momentum like they did in the last drive, this is going to be a very close ball game to the end.
If Lincoln could score quick here, they'll be down 24-35. That's just an 11-point game. It's going to be really interesting if they can do that, and they're going to get a fair catch there and start from the 12. They got a lot of yards to go, but as we've seen, I mean, they've been kind of doing that vertical passing game, and maybe they can get a quick strike here to get going.
And that's exactly what they need. They need to go down the field. They need to start this drive off by going down the field. No short routes, no to swing pass. They have to get yardage, and they need it now.
Bunch formation set here. Look for John Fullerton. Be a big key for this drive. Slider trying to get away from the pressure. He does not. He goes down for the sack. Will Chandler, the week 3 signing, with his first sack of the night.
And that is a huge blow for the Lincoln offense. You can see that Slider was looking down the field. He was just trying to move and scramble a little bit to give him a little bit more time. But Chandler just came back there and just said, no, you're going down.
Bunch formation set once again. Slider changing the play at the line. Pops back. Looking for the out route. He finds it. And that's going to be complete. It's going to be 3rd and 4. And that was to John Fullerton once again.
John Fullerton's coming up big for Lincoln. It might be a little bit too little, too late here. But they've got to start looking at that clock because the clock is still rolling. Fullerton was tackled in bounds. They got to throw down the field, try to get out of bounds, stop the clock the best they can conserve their timeouts for any type of 2-minute drill that they may have.
3rd and 4 from the 17. Tight end flex formation here. Need to try to find something deep. Play action pass is the first one we've seen all night, and that was almost intercepted. Number 29, John Patrick Levine, the 6'2", 190-pound safety coming in, almost sealed the game.
And that was great defense. Again, just saw the quarterback. It looks like he maybe took too much time. He kept his eye on that receiver, and Levine was able to jump the route to be able to deflect that ball.
And 4th down here, 5 minutes to go. Thought maybe Lincoln would maybe try to go for it here. It doesn't look like they're going to. Mike All playing very conservative. And that is going to be punted away. Annapolis is going to have some pretty good field position. Let's see if they get to that side of the field. They do not. They're just about midfield. They're going to be down at the 49.
Annapolis coming in, 51 yards to go, about 20 to 25 to go for a good field goal range. They could really seal this game right here on this drive.
Struthers coming out here. You can see Chris Grant Jr. there in the backfield, 3 wide receiver set. We'll probably see a lot of Chris Grant Jr. on this drive. 1st and 10. Struthers firing to the outside, and that is just, he was getting ready to make that catch, Lars Bazar was, but a big hit there by the corner, and that's going to be 2nd down.
That was definitely a huge play. Look close to being defensive pass interference on that, but might have gotten there just as the ball got there to avoid that penalty.
Ugu Gaipan, the week 4 signing, who does not look like a piece of toast anymore, making the big play there. Just got there right at the same time as the ball. Beautiful play there by the week 4 signing. 2nd and 10 for the Navigators. Bunch set once again down at the bottom. Struthers drops back. He fires deep, and that is tipped away and almost intercepted. Gaipan almost getting his first pick of his young career.
It looks like Gaipan lost his face mask on that play too, but yeah. Gaipan, for a week 4 signing, brand new player to this Lincoln team, is looking really good. I'd say maybe look for him on your radar for the draft.
Just that one play where he got burnt, but other than that, I mean, he's made some really big tackles. He's made some big deflections. He's really looking good. Done straight over the middle, and that is caught. Walker getting down to the 33, and that's going to be 1st and 10 for the Navigators.
Look at the tail of the tape there. Struthers with 395 yards. Kenny Slider, 105 yards. Just goes to show, as much as the running game is an asset to teams, they do need to look at the air a little bit more. Even when their running back is just shining in the game, they do need to pass the ball downfield, and that's what Annapolis changed, and that's why they're in the lead right now.
I mean, if you look at Lincoln's standings right now, I mean, they average 210 passing yards a game. They're 4th in the SFLm tonight. As you said, just over 100 yards, not looking very good. Struthers over the middle, and that was going to be, looked like it was intended for number 89, but it was incomplete. Looked like he was going for Alonzo, but Musa right there applying the pressure.
Yeah, I think Struthers there just heard the footsteps and didn't throw that ball well, and he hasn't done that much this game. And he just underthrew all his receiver that was streaking down the field.
And it looks like the Ottawa-Lexington game is finally over. Ottawa 36-0. Big victory there for the Cavalry, and Grant Jr. is going to get a couple yards, and it's going to be 3rd and 8.
This might be a 3rd and long play, but they are on the edge of field goal range here to extend the lead by 21.
You're going to get single back formation here, 4 wide receiver set. Ronnie Shanahan on the bottom of the screen. Look for a big play out of him. Letting that clock drain. Struthers hands it off to Chris Grant Jr., and he's going to be hit at the line, and that's going to bring up 4th down. And I'm going to assume this might bring out the field goal unit, depending on how far their kicker can get.
Coming from the 30-yard line, you're looking at about a 46, 47-yard kick. It's not out of the range, but it is a long kick for any minor league kicker.
It looks like they may actually be punting this away. Annapolis does not have a contracted kicker, so they're going to punt this away here. This is a big moment in this game here.
Gonna give Lincoln not so great field position, but if that ball gets in the end zone, Lincoln might have a chance.
And they're going to be down at the 5. They got to think like the Star Wars Rebellion. They have to live on hope. As Lincoln is going to be coming out on offense. The first thing I thought of, I was thinking, you know what? Hope, Rebellion, let's just go with that.
Oh, you got a giggle out of me on that one, Chad, I have to say.
I mean, as a Star Wars guy, I mean, you got to go with it. 1st and 10 at the 5. 4 wide receiver set here for the Rattlesnakes. Looking to strike quick. Slider looking to the outside is caught, and that is going to be taken out of bounds. And it looks like Willie Tarver Jr., the two-way player from Vegas, make the catch.
Yeah, Tabor Jr. there did the right thing. He caught the ball and was starting to go upfield, but he knows that the clock's an issue right now, so he went out of bounds just to save some time on that clock.
There's a look at John Fullerton. He's had a really good game tonight, making some big plays for Lincoln. Twin set. Slider, short drop. Going to the outside, and with the one-handed grab there, looked like John Fullerton sliding and making the grab.
I gave him the first down, but it kept the clock running.
Going no huddle here, going to the outside, and that's going to be out of bounds, hitting Kane Hunter, the fullback. They have lost a yard on the play.
Yeah, Lincoln's got to try to get upfield. Even if the clock's running, you got to at least try to look for your receivers. 2 yards, 3 yards to get out of bounds to stop the clock, but at least it's 2 or 3 yards closer to a score.
2:42 left in the ball game. Lincoln trying to do a quick strike to maybe try to get something going here late in the game. Empty set for Slider. Going to drop back. Pressure all around him. He's going to fire it, and that's going to be a big catch there down the line by John Fullerton, getting to the 48, and Lincoln going no huddle once again.
Lincoln's got to keep on throwing that ball down the field. These little short routes aren't going to get him in the end zone.
Slider drops back again. Pressure. He's going to fire, and that's going to be almost intercepted. Number 25, Adam Nold with the tip. Almost ended the game.
Now, as much as they got to go down the field, Slider has to be smart with these throws too. That defender was all over the receiver there, and that was not a smart throw whatsoever.
4 wide receiver set for the Rattlesnakes. 2:21 left to go. Second and 10 in their own 48. Getting his check down to the outside of Logan Lee, and looks like he's going to be tackled in the backfield. I said there, actually, I think they gave him a yard. It's going to be 3rd and 10. No huddle again. Slider. Pressure coming, and he tries to do a little sidearm fling. That doesn't work, and that's going to bring up 4th down. This should be a 4th down opportunity here for Lincoln, their last chance.
Yeah, I can't see them punting here. They're down by 18. They got to get in the end zone at least twice to even... Actually, they have to get in the end zone. Yeah, at least twice with 2-point conversions. They have to go for it here.
4th and 10. Just over 2 minutes to go. Lincoln, last chance to extend this drive. Slider drops back. Pressure coming to him. The offensive line holding up. He fires over the middle. That is tipped away. And Annapolis is going to get turnover on downs here with 2 minutes to go. And that is going to be the 2-minute warning here. Minute 57 actually to go. Annapolis getting the ball on turnover and looking to close this game out.
Ahmed Eaglin was there for that deflection on 4th and 10. He did a great job just covering the receiver and being able to make sure he doesn't get the ball.
And it looks like the backups are coming in here for the Navigators. Michael Mitchell is the quarterback under center now. And that is going to be a handoff and going to be about a 5-yard gain there by Zane Beard. And Lincoln's going to call a timeout.
Yeah, Lincoln still had all 3 timeouts before that timeout. That's only their first of the second half. So if they could hold Annapolis here, they have a chance to get the ball back. I'm not sure what they'll be able to do with under 2 minutes left, but at least they have a chance to get the ball back.
Weak eye, Joker set. Mitchell hands it off again to Beard, and that's going to be stopped in the backfield. Lincoln using their second timeout, and it's going to be 3rd and 8.
Lincoln's making good use of their timeouts there. 2 plays. Annapolis only got 2 yards and only 7 seconds off the clock.
3rd and 8 for the Navigators. Looking to extend this drive to drain the clock a little bit more. Needing to get a first down to really seal it. Mitchell. Looking over the middle. The catch is made. And that is going to be the final timeout there. Brian Murphy, I believe. That's not actually Brian Murphy. I apologize. That is Victor Williamson with the catch.
And that was the nail in the coffin for Lincoln. They just used their last timeout. All Annapolis has to do now is just kneel and run out the clock for these next few downs.
What a great play call there by Jay Hayden, as just finding a soft spot in that defense, and Annapolis is going to be able to just kneel this down, drain that clock, and seal their first victory of the season. Jay Hayden getting his first victory as a head coach in the SFLm. So congratulations to Jay on that. And Annapolis, congratulations on their first victory.
Yeah, as I was saying before, you never know what happens in the minors. Teams could start out 0 for however many games, but as we saw last season, it could also lead to a championship.
If you look at it this way, Annapolis lost 34-0 last week. Come out with some fire and motivation and score 35 points. They probably have pretty much matched average-wise, if you average it up, in all 5 games. Or all 4 games at least, they've passed their average for sure. So great offensive performance here by the Navigators.
Yeah, that's what the Navigators needed to do. They needed to find that spark on offense. You mentioned it all game, 7.7 points per game, and they just demolished that this game. And that's what they needed to do. They need to turn around and It looks like they've found their groove and they might be on a streak here.
If you're Lincoln, I think it's time to go back to the drawing board there. You're now 1-4. The offense just did not look great at all. And it's not like Annapolis is this defensive juggernaut. I mean, they're really middle of the road when it comes to defensive standings. I mean, third down conversions, they're the worst, third down percentage defensively in the league with 55% third downs. So if you're Lincoln, just shrug this one off. You go back to the coach's room. You put a good book together and come out next week firing. And that is going to do it here in Annapolis. Annapolis with the first victory of the season, 35-17. Mickey, what are your thoughts on this game?
Well, the first half started out, it looked like it was just going to be all ground game, but then Annapolis came out at the end of the first half and in the second half, and they just started throwing the ball. Ronnie Shanahan was huge, 190 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day, including some miraculous Superman catches, as I'm liking to call them. So Annapolis figured out what they needed to do to change their offense, and it worked, and they were able to just come out and just I think it was 28 unanswered points at one point.
Yeah, and Lincoln, I mean, if you look at the stats, I mean, 150 yards passing wasn't really the greatest, but they had 164 yards running. They were really balanced if you look at it on that side. But Gene Struthers, who I believe is probably going to be player of the game, just under 400 yards passing, 4 TDs on the game today. I mean, Annapolis' passing offense just looked fire. I mean, just played a terrific ball game.
Yeah, Gene came out after he had those first 2 drives that ended in turnovers, and he just came out and he just lit up the field.
Last week going 144 yards and 2 interceptions in that game, coming out today showing that he is indeed one of the best SFLm quarterbacks in the league. And what a great offensive output here by Annapolis. And there's a shot there of John Fullerton, who was really instrumental there for Lincoln, but just not enough for the Rattlesnakes as they now fall to 1-5, or 1-4, I'm sorry. And the player of the game, I'm going to assume, is Gene Struthers, and it is 32 of 38, 395 yards, 4 TDs, 145.1 QB rating. You can't get any better than that.
No, you can't. That's the reason why he's player of the game. Only 6 of his passes were not caught.
For Mickey Malolo and Cameron Irvine, I am Chad Rowland. Thank you for another great SFLm action. We will see you next week here on Twitch. Good night, everybody.